say another word about NAU President Rita Cheng. She's a first-generation, non-traditional college graduate. She believes firmly that making higher education accessible and affordable for all students. She set forth a vision of excellence in education through student-centered teaching, a robust research environment, and inclusive support services, and focuses on success measured through retention and graduation rates. Please welcome to the stage the 16th President of Northern Arizona University.
Good morning, and I'm excited to be at the 41st Annual Economic Outlook Conference, and very proud that the Franke College of Business plays such a key role in the discussions each year. 41 years, wow. You must have looked younger at the time. I would really like to thank Alliance Bank, our partner, not only for the sponsorship of this event, but also for the support for our Business Outreach Center at NAU. And before we begin, I would like to ask all of our elected officials and newly elected to please stand, and I'd like to recognize your service and thank you for the contributions you have made and will make to Flagstaff and the region and the state. When I first came to Arizona, just a little over 2 years ago, the term economic forecast still brought looks of dread in Arizona. And I know that you're ready for cautious optimism, and at NAU we're eager for good news, as you are. Each of you are all too familiar with the painful budget decisions Arizona has faced and the ways that it has impacted public universities. In my time at NAU, we've seen cuts of more than $17 million. Throughout the years of the recession, cuts totaled $60 million to NAU. These reductions equal 50% of the state support per student. They flipped the balance of our funding to make tuition and fees the primary source of funding. So we're educating more students with less state dollars than we did before 2008. These hard times have been painful, but I'm optimistic that a renewed partnership between universities and the state. Last year, NAU received $1.5 million in ongoing funding and $4 million in one-time resources that we devoted entirely to address some of the urgent deferred maintenance on our campus facilities. As we move beyond the election into the new cycle of state budgeting, we're working hard to connect state leaders to our vision for NAU's future and for the role that we can play in Arizona's economy. Recognizing that the state's current financial position cannot support a return to pre-recession funding levels of investment, we are requesting a 3-year, phased-in, shared responsibility that relies on the state to fund 50% of a resident student's cost of tuition, while the university is responsible for funding the remaining 50%. This proposal will help all of Arizona's public universities, but is especially critical to NAU. We're requesting a long-term strategy as well for maintenance of physical infrastructure that is critical to our university, and for the statutory changes that streamline operations and contain university costs in healthcare, insurance, and personnel. We're working to ensure that a difficult choice we have to make to serve as a solid foundation for strategic and wise investments in our future as a partner. To be sure, this is not the first time that NAU has succeeded through hard financial times. I found evidence of this recently when I came across alumni questionnaires that provided an interesting look into our experience during the Great Recession. In the 1930s, NAU was still the Arizona State Teachers College. In these questionnaires, graduates fondly remembered their professors and the welcoming community of Flagstaff. And they describe our campus as a place that created possibilities when the world around them seemed hopeless. They also remembered, though, that our school was not immune to economic turmoil. They recalled budget cuts and reduced state funding. They described necessary efficiencies like a steam-powered generator that provided energy for the campus and ovens behind the dining halls where student workers baked bread. Some students paid for their tuition by working on campus. According to some students that studied here, former Governor Castro, the iconic governor of Arizona, was among the hardworking students that staffed the campus dining halls. Our students were responsible for milking 40 dairy cows that the school owned. Cows that the college president, Rita Cheng, believed that saved the school almost $3,000 in fiscal year 1931. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, so I can say from personal experience that this is not an easy way to pay one's way through college. Observers later said that they knew financial forecast was improving when then President Thomas Tormey sold the cows in 1940, claiming they were no longer cost effective. I promise you there won't be any cows blocking the roads on campus today, but we do continue the tradition of fiscal management and accountability. NAU plays an undeniable and unique role in Arizona's economy, and we take our responsibility seriously. A recent analysis pointed to the $1.6 billion direct economic impact NAU has on this region. 1 in 5 employees in Coconino County are employed as a result of our activities, and our impact will continue to grow. We have more than 160,000 alumni, and almost 100,000 of them choose to live and work in Arizona. Enrollment in our programs online at community college campuses throughout the state, including Yuma and Yavapai County, and in Flagstaff, have reached more than 30,000 this year for the first time in NAU history. And we prioritize tuition certainty and retention because we know that the best way for a college student to get a return on their investment is to educate with a completed degree in hand. We're keeping tuition low as possible for our students, and we have given them and their families stability by providing a 4-year pledge program that removes uncertainty and allows them to confidently plan that tuition will not increase in the 4 years that they're here. This year, our rate of retention for freshmen has reached 75.5%, an increase over last year and the year before, and a big step toward our goal of 80% by the year 2025. These are not just numbers. Employment grows along with enrollment. We're training the workforce of the future, adapting our programs to ensure that we lead in what our students need to thrive in a changing economy. We're strengthening our connections to Arizona's employers and local leaders, and we're attracting more renowned researchers to the team of experts that has already proven that we can tackle problems, whether great or small, that impact our world today. So these investments in NAU's research efforts grew from $32 million to $35 in fiscal 15, and when fiscal year 16 numbers are out, I'm confident we'll see even more good news to share. When we reach our goals of 2025, we will generate more than $80 million in research and public service expenditures, all of which will be spent in this great region of the state. And the goal is worth striving for because it holds great possibilities for jobs in Arizona. At NAU, we're excited about where we are, and we're very dedicated to the success that we bring to Arizona. Our work with leaders in this room creates even more possibilities and impact. And we're great because of the passion that you bring and that our faculty and staff bring to the efforts and dedications for our students. A commitment that will lead to cows on campus if needed, to provide a high-quality opportunity to open even more doors to those we serve. So thank you for your work and the expertise you bring to Arizona. Thank you for the great partnerships that we have with our community, our political and business leaders, and many of you who are here today. With that, let's get on to figuring out what the economy is going to be like in the future, not only in Arizona,